Hello and welcome. This is STV and my name is Shalom Nyerere and I'll be your host for today's program. Remember, this is STV whereby I bring to you the most authentic, trusted and inspiring stories. Today on Relationship Friday, we are doing part 3, whereas episode 3 of dealing with the loss of a loved one. And today we are met, whereas we have a wonderful guest with us who's going to be talking to us, help us dissect and understand how do you navigate through, how do you go through this whole ordeal of losing someone that you love dearly, but now they are nowhere to be seen. How do you strengthen yourself and even get better? But now, before we get to that and even have a word with her, I would like that you, down below, you're going to see a subscription button. Kindly smash on it. Then you're going to be in as one of our subscribers. And for those who are returning subscribers, I say Karibu Sana. This is home. Then also remember kindly to have your notification bell turned on, and as well to ensure that you give us likes on every video that you're doing. Down below also, leave a comment for every video that you're doing. And then we keep on growing the family together. So now, direct, let us go to and have a word with our guest for the day. Habari leo. Unakuaje? Yes. So first things first, before when we begin the conversation, I would like looking direct to that camera, kindly introduce yourself, let our people know who you are, and then you say hi to them. Yes.
Hi, my name is Meet Narumbe Ekiru. I am a pastor, I am a mother, and I thank God. This far the grace is sufficient.
Amen.
Karibuni.
Wow. So our guest for today, she's a pastor, a mother, as she has said. And then even as we continue to have this discussion, you're going to get to know more about her, even who she is now and what she has been doing. So let us now begin and roll it out from this point. So today we are talking about dealing with the loss of a loved one. Every time or else in life you'll find that sometimes it gets to a point whereby you find the person you love dearly, they are nowhere to be seen. Kindly take us through the journey. How did it happen to you?
I am the second born in a family of 4. Um, and right now I'm the acting firstborn because my sister, our elder sister, died in the year 2012. Together with her unborn child. She was 8 months pregnant. And now in 2013, I also lost my third born. And then in 2016, I lost my firstborn boy, Mongi. And then in 2017, I lost my husband. So when I speak of losing, I have gone through that. But also, I am here today to strengthen somebody and tell them even after that, yes, it is very hard, but it also depends with how you take yourself after the loss of your loved ones. There is still life. The reason you're still there is because God has left you to stay there with a certain purpose. The reason they went is because their purpose was done. But you as is still there, that's the reason you're still alive.
Amazing. Wow. That resonates so well with us, and it makes us to understand that you're still and very strong and vibrant about your life, and you're ready to give it a push and to continue rolling out life. So now let us just begin from this point now. Number one, did you feel like God had failed you by having all these people living your life just like in a slip of a finger?
Yes. Let's not pretend.
Right.
Being being a human being, there are that point when you reach and you feel that God has forsaken you, and you ask God why. But the question always that comes after that is, if not you, who?
All right.
If God will not save my husband, then whose husband was I expecting him to take? You get?
Yes.
So it is only God that chooses the people He wants to take. And the moment death of a loved one happens, the first question is, why me? And you feel that God hates you so much. So that is very normal. I also felt the same, and I would wonder, why did God choose me to go through this pain? But the thing is this, and God says that He is very close to the heartbroken. So God is always there. Even when you're passing through, you know the story of Jesus on the boat.
Yes.
Even when there was a lot of
Waves.
the waves in the Jesus was still there. So even in whatever you're passing, God is there.
Right. Amazing. So now, when you're talking about losing a loved one, we have seen that you lost your sister, a sibling to you. You lost your two sons. Now, when you look at the loss of your two sons, what first came into your mind once you saw them go? Rather, you can even take us through the whole ordeal of how they went for your two sons.
My backbone died out of a certain issue called jaundice.
All right.
It's a certain thing that where a child turns yellow in a way. That is after he was born. He was 7 days, and that is when he passed on. But my firstborn was 9 years old. He had an issue with I just don't know what had happened, but he had something rolled, a nylon paper that was rolled, and somebody or him himself, I don't know, had inserted it in his ear. So after a long time, that paper inside the ear had started to react, and now through that the boy started kuumwa na kichwa, and then all of a sudden akagonjeka na meningitis. So that is how my sons died. Yeah.
Meningitis.
Yes, meningitis.
How long did it take for that boy to be normal?
Um, from the time the paper was put in the,
Yes.
I realized there was a paper in his ear in 2013, and he died in 2016. So during that time, he had issues with his ears. So we were trying our best to treat the ears. So it was a process. That is how I can say. But now, when the doctors said that it is meningitis, he just stayed for 12 days.
Guys, we're just getting started, and it is getting more fascinating and even hard feeling. Losing a boy, a child at the age of, but then collective being 12 days, right from the diagnosis stage to the point of departure of the boy. It is not that easy. Now, when he was diagnosed, or it was found out that he had meningitis, did you pray about it, or rather, what did you do?
Yes, because my son got sick at home.
Right.
And one night we had a voice coming from their bedroom, and when we followed that voice, we found him. All his eyes were just pooping outside, and then he had white substances coming from his ears, and from, of course, mucus from the mouth, and also from mucus from the nose, and also the mouth had a lot of. It was just it was a very dirty picture, a picture that you would not want to look at it twice. So, and also he had gone himself. Alikuwa amejimeza, alikuwa amejiendea haja kubwa na ndogo pia, so he was just messy. So we took the boy to the hospital, and that is when we found out that he had meningitis. So it was not easy, because the picture that we had, the stories that I had heard about meningitis is 14 years for 48 hours only. Right. The moment you have it. So I had that fear. We had fear, and we prayed a lot together with my friends. I also prayed a lot in the hospital, and he survived. And God did not take that boy that day, because the picture was just bad. But then we took him to the hospital when the heart rate, the normal heart rate of a person is around 72 per minute, but his was 22, 21, 22 per minute. Right. So it was just so far. And we prayed God revived our son. And then when we went to the hospital, he stayed there and he became normal. We started playing with him, but we could not step out of the hospital because he was still under the medication. Right. Because he had to take around 12 days. But the day we were supposed to be discharged, that the same day he died.
The day of discharge is the time that you also passed on.
Yeah, the day I was supposed to be discharged, that Friday, date 1 of July, that's the same day he died.
Every year when it comes to 1st of July, what comes into your mind?
That day I'm always very low. Right. I won't lie. Even during his birthdays, I feel so low. it reminds me. I want, the imaginations. How tall could this boy be today? What could he be doing today? See, such things come back. As a normal human being, there is no point where you say you have healed 100%.
Right.
There is no point where you say that I have now forgotten, I have now overcome. You just that those feelings are just suppressed. But there is that special day when those feelings just come back alive, and you have to know how to deal with them.
Now, all this while, what was the position of the father to the boy?
Um, the father, my husband had a lot of. He was so close to this boy,
Right.
and when the boy died, I think he did not accept it. He could pretend that he has accepted it, but he did not. And every night he would wake up and start crying and oh my God, why did you take my boy? Oh my boy, why did you go? And I think that is the reason. It was just so much to him. I don't know if that is the reason he also followed the boy exactly 1 year after the boy had died. That is when the father also died. And he used to call him, he used to talk to the boy in the boy is already married, but he would always talk of the son. Oh my boy, why did you leave me? Why did you not allow me to go, and then you leave, you still had life, you see? But 1 year later he also died.
And did you feel like, or else as a, you are only your position as a parent, do you feel like you had failed the boy by not having diagnosed or realized about the paper that was in his ear at an early stage?
We always want the best for our children.
Right.
Every parent wants the best for their children.
Right.
We are trying to do the best we can. I always feel that maybe I did not do the right thing. There's that feeling of a human being that where you think that maybe if I could have done this, maybe if I could have taken him to a more expensive or more better hospital, maybe I could have saved him. That is every person's thing when they feel that they are failed. So in one way, I always feel that I failed the boy. But also on the other side, we as Christians we say that let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So in one way or the other, yes, I failed. I feel I did not take him to the hospitals the way maybe I had done my best, but I always feel I've not done the best. But also, there is this part of God doing His thing. So, in as much as I want to blame myself, what is God's part in this life? So, in His life, I did my part, the other part was God's. And God did what He thought was best for Him.
So now, if we now while we look at the picture of what happened with the dad to the boy, and even who couples up to be your husband back then, now how long do you think someone should mourn over the death of a loved one?
The death of a loved one, there is no certain period when you should mourn. There are people who mourn differently. We have people who mourn for a month, and within a month they have already overcome. We also have other people who mourn it for years and many years. So there is no certain period where you can mourn this season or this a certain period. There is no given time. Yeah.
Does it even also happen to your life that you find yourself sometimes while you bring back the memories, you feel it's as if it's a fresh wound in your life?
Yes. Yes,
Tell us
sometimes
about that.
it feels very fresh. Sometimes you want to imagine what you could be doing together as a family and where you could have been as a family. Sometimes things are so good and you feel, I wish these people were here. Maybe we could have been celebrating better. So it happens. You can wake up one day and decide, I just wish these people are still there.
So, guys, that is part of a story that we are doing about dealing with the loss of a loved one, and even if you're out there and you're still going through the same thing, then I think this is the time that you need to come have a sitting with us, do your write up, or else you borrow a leaf from what you're doing and discussing today. It's going to help you while you navigate through this journey of dealing with the loss of a loved one. My name is Shalom Nyerere. We'll be back shortly after this short break. Asante sana. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Stv Ke Channel, where we bring to you the most authentic, trusted, and inspiring stories. Remember, we are doing a story on dealing with the loss of a loved one. Before we left for the break, we were handling the part of for how long should one mourn over the death of a loved one. So now, as we embark on this, we are going to have and begin with the series on how she began the journey to heal and what is our position right now about those that have already parted. So if you've lost your loved one out there, then learn that it is not the end of life. Life must continue. But then let us hear it right from the horse's mouth itself. Right. Now, all this is happening. We always have people whereby once if you lost a kid at the age of below a year, every time when you get hold of a small baby, you feel that thing coming fresh again in your life, and you even like you develop something like a fever towards such boys or else babies. You don't want to hold them. So what made your elder, how do you handle this fear of having kids who have already passed on and you still having others around you? How do you manage that?
That is one thing that I've never even experienced. That you are afraid that maybe you feel that you have that fear of holding the children of the same age of which your children departed. I've never experienced that.
Okay. You've managed that.
Yeah.
Right. And so now, while talking about that as well, let me ask this. Now, when you're having these people around you and that one happened, did you feel like maybe you are not the best parent for these kids? That's why God took them away?
No, there's some things that are above us.
Okay.
As long as you're doing your best, leave the rest. There are some things you cannot do. Even if you are the parent to that child, there's some things you cannot do. Like giving that child life, it is God who gives the child life. Yours is just to take care, to cook for them, to wash their clothes, to make sure they are going to school, but the giver of life is not you.
Given a chance, would you like to give birth to a certain to another baby again?
Yes, I'm planning to get 2 or 3 children.
Right. Now, talking about that, let's now get to this part of your husband left 2017. What happened?
He had liver issues. So on this particular night, he started feeling some pain, and then when he was going to the hospital, the liver, because it was carried by motorbike, so the liver shrank. Because the liver had shrunk, it just collapsed. Yeah, as according to the pathologist report.
What is this? What did this information, or else what impact did this information have to you?
Um, at first, I did not even get it very well because I was in a prayer mountain, Catalonia, and I was in fasting. It was my third day, and at first I saw it on social media. I had not seen it direct.
Wait.
I had not. Yes,
You read it?
I read it through social media. So many people had known about. I found that so many people had tagged me, had tried to call me. But because at night when you are in the prayer center, at night people want to rest, so you put off your phone. So when in the morning, that's what I found. But they had already sent when I saw that those contacts, and people had tried to call me. So my brother called and confirmed that it is the truth what I had seen, and already they had organized that 2 people were coming to pick me at Machakos, Catalonia.
Exactly. Right. So now, while they were coming, or else once now they came, what was the story like and the journey while coming back to Nairobi?
Everyone was still in shock.
Right.
I was also in shock, so we didn't talk much about it. But I just came back home and freshened up, and I started the journey. Yeah.
So you found him in the mortuary?
He was already in the mortuary. I did not go there direct. Yeah, I just came home. You know, you're fasted, your body is not strong. So you cannot come and go direct. No one will also want to take you to the mortuary even before you have taken anything. Yeah. So I went to the mortuary the day we were to do the postmortem. But I also didn't have enough courage or strength to see him. So even that day I did not see him. I saw him on his last day. and because hakukuwa na option, lazima nimuone as the wife.
Did you feel like you failed him as a wife, not being present at the moment to see and walk through the journey with him?
I have refused to be taking blame of the things that I cannot change.
Yeah.
I don't.
Right.
Yeah. Because even if I was there, what could I have done to stop death? Nothing. So I don't, anything that is happening, anything that happens, you don't have strength or you don't have any power over it. Right. So I don't feel bad. I don't feel that I failed him. No. Because what could I have done? Even if I was there, what could I have done?
Talking to someone directly out there who feels like maybe at a point he or she failed their spouse by not being present at the moment to help them and to walk them through that journey. What would you like to tell them?
Now the question is, even if you are there when your spouse was dying or the child, what could you have done?
Right.
So stop blaming yourself.
And you man up and you wake
yes!
up to that slumber.
There is nothing you can do. That's me. There is nothing I could have done. Even if he is here right now, even if it is me, supposing and God forbid, God forbid, supposing I am to die right now, what can you do? Nothing. There is nothing you can do to stop death. Yeah. So stop blaming yourself.
Right.
That is how it was meant to be, and there is nothing you could have done.
Right. So now, while your husband was departing, did there happen anything that was like to suggest that he's about to leave?
No.
Like writing a letter, talking to you in a suggestive way?
The only thing he used to say was, if I die today, you will take care of these orphans. Those are the things that he used to say. But that's general. Even me, I can say today that if I die, my brother take care of these children. Those are some of the things we can say. But sometimes we don't feel that they matter a lot. You know, you can say anything. So that was what I was thinking. That this is just a normal talk.
Do you think now that it happened, do you think like that was the wrong perception of it? Rather, he was expressing what was about to happen?
I think God was helping him to prepare me to do this. Yeah.
So you agree with the place that sometimes God will speak to us about our departure?
Yes.
Right. Amazing. So guys out there, if you're having a person around you and he's speaking in a manner like to suggest about their departure, then you need to take this seriously. So be very alert on what is happening around you and even how people talk to you who are living around you. So now, once the husband left, did people point fingers at you?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Keeping in mind I'd lost two children and I've lost a husband. Of course, to the world. Number one, you are either a cursed woman. Number two, you're in the worshiping. You're sacrificing your family to get something. So those two things I fought them.
For how long did it take you to really walk past this of being accused by men around you?
There's one thing about myself is that as long as Jesus and God knows the truth, what people say does not matter for me. At the end of the day, God has those people that are there to walk with you. You know, God always kakuachilia. He will always appoint somebody to walk with you. I have learned to appreciate, even today they still say some of them, but I've learned to accept and listen to the positive side of me. I want to listen to these people who are saying that I'm doing the good thing. Those people who love me, I am concentrating with these people because haters will be there. If they hated Jesus, who am I?
All right. Amazing. Now, talking to those people who are accusing you, what one word for them, like, what would you like to tell them right from your heart about accusing you for being like in a cult, worship, like, for you to have all this happening to you? What would you like to tell them?
Whoever accuses me, and maybe you're listening to this, God knows it all. Yeah, I pray you never go through that. But at the end of the day, there is God who judges. He will judge me. If it is true, we will know. You know, at the end of the day, the truth will be known. Yeah.
So now,
and I forgive them.
You forgive them.
Yeah.
Two people who walked through this journey with you.
Family.
Uh-huh.
That is one.
Yes.
Then friends. Right. Let me not say because there are so many. Yeah.
One word for them that you'd like to tell them about working with you through that?
Thank you so much for
Yes.
being there, for being not judgmental. When I felt that I want to scream, you were always there to listen. You loved me even when I was in a mess. Thank you. May the Lord bless you. Nawapenda.
Let me ask, this is a question. Looking at all that happened, would you like if you're given a chance to travel back time, what would you like to change, right from what happened all through?
You're forgetting that everything, we don't have control of what is to happen.
Yes.
It is God who has control of what to happen.
Right.
So if I was to go back to that point again, there is nothing much I could have changed. There is nothing. Because whatever came is what God had planned to come.
Yeah.
So there's nothing I can change. Whatever, if God would have allowed me to stay with my family, it is okay. Now because it cannot be like that, let His will be done. What does He want from now? We go. Let's not go back. From now here where we are, what can we do for our future? What can I do for my future? What can I do for my son? That is what I'm looking for. Whatever was left was left.
So, are you planning to get married again?
Yes, why not?
All right. When possibly?
I don't know,
Yeah.
but even if God says even tomorrow,
Yeah.
why should I say no?
All right.
Yeah.
You're fully prepared for this.
I think I'm healed. That is what matters.
Yes.
It's not only even about being prepared. You know, for the people who are getting married for the first time, it is about preparation. For us, it's about healing. Have you healed? Do you think you can accommodate someone else? Yes, I think I'm healed. So at the right time of God, He will make everything beautiful. I don't know when it is, but yes, Sunday. Soon.
So now, talking to other people who have lost their spouses at this moment, what would you like to tell them?
There is God in heaven, and just surrender to Him. There is nothing sweeter and better than surrendering to God. He knows how to wound, and He knows how to treat that wound. Anajua kuumiza na anajua kutengeneza hicho kidonda. Just surrender it to Him.
Amazing. You're parting shot to someone out there, what you'd like to tell them about healing through the journey and even coming to the point of now coming to terms with what has happened in your life and in their lives as well.
Grief has three parts.
Yeah.
The first part is when you are in denial. You don't want to accept. You feel that they are somewhere. They will come back. You feel sometimes you should not even lock the door because this person might come back when you are asleep. That is the first part, and it's very normal. You know, some people think that maybe this person is mad. You are not. You are very normal. That is the first part of healing. The second one is when you accept, okay, imemaliza miaka mbili na hajarudi, so meaning that he's not coming back or she is not coming back. So that's the second part, and that part is when Jesus comes in, and God comes in to help you. So that is the second part. The third part is the grace part. The grace part is when you have accepted that it happened, and now Jesus or Christ comes and supplies sufficient grace to you, and now you start now living. You start now living under the grace, because grace is supplied. Grace cannot be supplied where you have not accepted. God does not supply grace if you have not accepted. You have to accept ya kwamba Mungu unahitaji neema, ndio wakati Mungu anakupea neema. But before that, He won't. So mourn as much as you can, but I would pray that you reach to that point where you say, now God, I have accepted. Come and help me. Come and heal me. That is the time now you start living your life. And there is still life for you. The reason you're still alive and not them, they are done with their assignment. Yours is still there. Stop delaying your assignment because you want to mourn those people who are already dead. There is no amount of mourning that can revive them, that can bring them back. So mourn in as much as you're mourning, but make sure you're also living your life and your calling, your purpose.
How has your relationship been like with your son?
Great. My son believes I'm the best. My son believes I'm the hero. To him, I am everything. Yeah, he knows that mamangu ni yule
Wow. I know your boy one day will what discussed. Kindly talk to him direct this camera, one-on-one, heart to heart talk. Talk to him. What would you like to tell him?
Daddy, you know I love you so much. You're my favorite. You're my everything. I love the way you do your things. I love the way you are devoted into the work of God at 12 years old. I love the way you do things. I love the way you preach. I love the way you pray. I love the way you want to know. A few days ago, you requested that I teach you how to speak in tongues. At the right time, I know God will give you that gift because I know you desire it so much. I love you so much. Even in your studies, you are making Mama proud. Even in the football, you love football so much, and you're making Mama proud. I love you so much. Nakupenda.
Oh, there is no better way than this to end this class for today. And so from here we say bye bye for now. Till next time, we sign out.